Coach Joe Drake here with the Axiom Fitness Academy, guys, and I have a special guest today. Our pro dancer here to teach you guys a little bit about balance, which, let's be honest, it's not the sexiest of concepts out there. Most people don't come in saying like, Joe, I can't wait to train my balance today. Although you may have older clients, you may have clients who this becomes a priority. I'll tell you right now, it's a lot easier to maintain than it is to gain at later stages. So this stuff is valuable and important, and I like to think that we're gonna make it a little bit fun for you guys too. So one piece that's really important to keep in mind, aside from the fact that dancers hopefully have good balance, if she falls in the video today, guys, we're gonna keep it in the video, just so you know. This is real all the way through, all right? So leave a comment if she goes down. And also leave a comment about these unicorn pants, all right? But important that you guys, as you guys are learning your NASM material and you guys are studying for your exams so diligently, that when it comes to balance training, we have three specific mechanisms, right? These are the three pieces that we're gonna progress and play with. And so just humor me for a second. I just want you to stand on a single leg for me for a second, Louise. All right, so from right here, let's say all of a sudden, Louise obviously has pretty good balance, and we'll go through all of our progressions in this video, so don't worry. But I just want you to close your eyes for a second. Yeah, she did not know this was coming, by the way. And she's still pretty good, but yeah, exactly. Right, so one of those, as you guys see the little Venn diagram here on our screen, visual, right? This visual component of our balance. As we can see, balance was pretty good before. Close your eyes, and we lose all that information. So that's one of the three that we can play with, right? And even progress over time. The other one, I want you to go right back up again. Give me a little single leg balance here, all right? And now I just want you to look off to your right side. All right, and then look back to the left side, looking back to the right side. So pretty good here, and come back down. So this one, that would be, we have our visual component, but we also have right here, for her it's underneath the braids, but inside here we have our inner ear organ. So this would be this vestibular component, right? A position of our head, right? You watch high-level trainers who work with basketball players or dancers, for example, and the ability to maintain balance while we're moving in different directions, looking in different directions with our body in different positions, that's going to be that vestibular system, right? That little inner ear organ. And then the third and final, let's see what we got right here. Okay, so we got some running shoes on today. So let's just pretend, because she's got good balance, let's pretend she's on that single leg and she's kind of struggling with the shoes, and all of a sudden we take those shoes off and she's got a little better contact and position with the ground. That's going to be what NASM calls somatosensory. That's your $10 word for today. Somatosensory, and it just has to do with what our body has to communicate through when it comes to balance with the ground. So just keep those three in mind. We're going to take you guys through our 3 levels of progression with balance training, but beyond just those levels of progression, things you can play with over time, we have the visual component, all right? We have that somatosensory, the surfaces that we're standing on, and we also have that vestibular inner ear organ. Stage 1 or phase 1 progressions of balance training are all about static balance. Now I know that, again, doesn't sound the sexiest, may not sound that exciting, but it doesn't mean every movement has no movement. It just means our main priority, as Louise stands on that leg, is not moving that down leg. So as you go through and you watch some of these progressions, you're gonna see, just like I'll show you now, yeah, you stay right there, boom. I'm gonna hand her a medicine ball. She has no idea what's coming. This is not practiced or rehearsed. And I just want you to chop down to your right side and then up to your left. Whoa, there we go, look at that, and she saves it. So again, doesn't mean there's no movement. We know something would be considered level 1 or stage 1 if the primary goal is maintaining balance and stability on that single leg, regardless of what's happening. Even if I'm throwing things, whatever it might be, so as you go through the different progressions, just keep in mind, level 1 balance training, we're not moving on that down leg. Phase 2 or stage 2 balance training, hey, guess what? Now we get to move a little bit. And these really start to look like a lot of exercises. And honestly, once we get clients past stage 1, where it's more static, this is where balance training becomes a little bit more fun. It really starts to blend together, even with some of your resistance training further down the road. So I'll give you guys an example, and then we're gonna go through all the progressions that you guys see inside your NASM material. Louise is just gonna find her balance on that single leg first, and she's gonna go through a single leg RDL or a single leg reach. Reach out with that right hand as you drive that right leg back, and then nice and slow, controlled, right back up. If only it was so pretty. That's how we know she's a former dancer. Does not look the same when I do it, so your guys is welcome for someone else demoing the exercise. And the goal here now you can see, now we're moving major joints. hips and knees. So anything that's similar to a single leg RDL, single leg squat, or the variations that are in here. She saved that one. I saw you almost go down there. That's how we know it's a level 2 progression, is there's gonna be more movement in that primary stance leg. We're not just static. And this is where it starts to get fun with level 3 balance training. This is really where balance training, right? Even if you think back to that iceberg analogy that NASM uses, kind of below the surface non-sexy stuff, well, that's balance training. The above the surface sexy stuff is like plyometrics, SAQ, and this is really the transition into that. So this is where it happens in phase 3, because now what you're gonna see is Louise is gonna perform just a small single leg hop. It's not about how high she jumps, but she's gonna jump up, she's gonna land, and she's gonna try to maintain great position. So that would be a good example of a phase 3 balance exercise, and it really starts to kind of look like a phase 1 plyometric exercise as well. So now at this stage, if you haven't gone and watched our plyometric progression video, this is gonna make a lot of sense as you watch the balance training into your plyometrics. You'll make sense, or it'll make sense, why NASM orders it this way, and you'll get so much more out of more of these athletic training methods if you progress through levels 1, 2, and 3 appropriately. So hopefully this helped you guys bring to life some of the balance training concepts, not only understanding those 3 different mechanisms and components of visual, vestibular, and somatosensory, but also bringing to life some of the progressions with our lovely dance model. If you guys wanted to be back on the YouTube channel, make sure to leave some comments. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. We'll see you guys in the next video.